Welcome back, everyone. We've made it. We're here. The finals of the Iron Price Invitational 2015. The top table. Everyone else has been eliminated. And all we have left is on the left. We have Tim, who's playing Lannister, Banner of the Stag. And we have on the right, Kyle, playing House Baratheon with a Fealty agenda. So he can only have up to 15 neutrals in his deck. And Tim must include at least 12 non-loyal Baratheon cards in his deck. So thanks a lot for coming along for the ride. I appreciate you guys sticking with us all the way through to the end. And if you've just found this finals video, we have an entire 4-round Swiss, 3 games in each round, fully recorded, all up on this channel. You can find it in the playlist for the Iron Price Invitational 2015. And we did a cut to top 4s, a little 6-man tournament in my living room when we got the cards from Gen Con. So they weren't released yet, but now that the release is here, go check out your local store. You should be able to find this game on store shelves now. And you can get involved with us on this channel and watch our videos, learn the game, get involved with us on live streams, and follow along. So yeah, perfect timing on this this video here. Just so happened I caught up, got ready for doing the finals right when the game launched this week. So yes, go watch those other videos in the series if you want to find out how these players got here and see the great plays they made and the mistakes that we made, learning the game, getting it back from Gen Con. You know, before we have gotten used to it at this point, we wouldn't have made a lot of the mistakes we did then. But this tournament was basically, I think, about a month and a half ago at this point. All right, so for setup here, looks like Tim is going first. We already gone through setup here. I'm rambling on through it, but we're in the first round. Tim played a Noble Cause, plot 501. He can reduce the first Lord or Lady he plays by 2. And Kyle flipped Calm Over Westeros, 531. He's able to name a challenge type, and during that challenge, Tim's claim will be reduced by 1 for challenges that type that Tim initiates against Kyle. So it looks like he used his discount and some gold and a reduction there off the location to play Sir Jaime Lannister, who does not kneel when he attacks during military challenges. And when he wins those military challenges, he gains renown. And he also has Shireen Baratheon out, who, if she's killed, she can trigger a reaction on her, or an interrupt actually, to kneel a character of Tim's choosing. And he has a Burned Men on the table, who's 2 cost, 2 strength, military icon, and also has Ambush 2. So that character can be ambushed in for 2 gold during the challenges phase. And it looks like he's got his location out there that lets him do a second entry challenge, which is Casterly Rock, I believe. On Kyle's side, looks like he set up his reducing character, Fiery Followers. He's also, looks like they're having some discrepancies about kneeling King's Roads. And looks like Kyle got a great start there. He actually got his draw location in play, the Red Keep, which gives him +2 power on his side, +2 strength, sorry, on his side during power challenges in which he controls at least 1 participating character. And by the end of the challenge phase, if he hasn't lost a power challenge, he can kneel the Red Keep if it's standing still and draw 2 cards. So it looks like you got out a King's Hunting Party, which is 4 cost, military icon, 6 strength. If your opponent controls a king, I believe they also gain an intrigue icon. But with Robert Baratheon being the only king in the core set, which is kind of thematic since he was the only king at the beginning of the first book, it's kind of rare to actually get that King's Hunting Party to trigger off, but it's a card that I believe will get stronger over time as Fantasy Flight inevitably releases more kings into the game and we progress through the books as new chapter pack cycles and the house expansions release, if they do similar to what they did in Game of Thrones the card game first edition. We saw many kings in that edition of the game, so I see them coming. Alright, and he also got out a Bastard in Hiding. 2 cost, 2 strength, military, and power. And just a little chump, but great for killing for military claim instead of Robert Baratheon's and Melisandre's. He also played an Iron Throne, which gives him +1 reserve. And during dominance, he has 8 strength counting on his side, and that costs 2. So it looks like Tim's going for a military here of 7 with Jaime standing and a Burn Men kneeling to participate in the challenge. Looks like Tim's sitting on 3 or 4 gold there also, which is always dangerous against a Lannister player because they are the faction with the greatest ambush so far possibilities, and yeah, just their events are great too. So 4 cost, you know, 4 cost things I do for love event could bounce a 4 strength character, or 4 cost character, sorry, back to hand of your opponent. So you always got to be careful what they may possibly do to you. Try to play around it as best you can. Looks like Tim has passed. And Kyle is now on the offense. Looks like military of 6 with the King's hunting party. Well, it looks like Tim has taken his opportunity to perform an action before declaring defenders, if so. Just want to say big thanks to Kyle, Tim, Shamar, Justin, and Melanie for coming by, playing in this tournament with me, and dealing with the cameras on them the whole time, and yep, being put in the spotlight on YouTube, and they've been great participating in the comments when they can, and yeah, learning from this game and helping you guys, help us learn, you know, things in this game and coming along. I love watching Game of Thrones card game content on YouTube myself, which is why I do this, to just add more to the community. I know if I like it, I'm sure there's other people out there who like it too, so I figured I'd produce some of this stuff. So if you like the videos, subscribe, like, comment, get involved, and let's make this community bigger and better so we have more people showing up for tournaments. Looks like Kyle did Intrigue, which was blocked by Jamie, who... Oh, maybe it was military, sorry. Military blocked by Jamie, which gave him an around, and he ambushed in Widow's Wail on him. And Kyle intrigued, I believe, with the Fiery Followers there while I was talking, and got a card out unopposed out of Tim's hand. Gained a power for that. And it looks like he's doing a power challenge of 1 with his Dragonstone Faithful. Man, looks like a block with Shireen Baratheon. Loses the power challenge, but nothing to take. So he blocks the unopposed bonus. So no gain for Kyle there. So started dominance. Oh, sorry. Missed the red keep. Kyle's triggering a red keep at the end of challenges. Yeah, so Kyle did not lose a power challenge, so he took 2 cards. And they agree that he takes dominance due to the Fiery Followers. Even though he did not physically stand it, they discussed it. Same thing with Neil and the red keep, I believe. Kyle just, you know, asked his permission to draw 2 cards, and Tim gave him the A-OK. Looks like the players were fatigued after an entire day of playing in our little tournament, and making some lazy plays. Don't want to kneel cards. Takes too much effort, obviously. They're shortcutting there. So, back around to the plots. Going into round 2. Both players checking their hands, deciding what to play based on what's in their hands. Not sure what they'll draw next. Looking at the boards, got to make that decision on the plots. You know, what kind of economy do you need? Do you need to win initiative? Go first, go last? You know, what kind of claim do you got? What ability might they play? Do you have something to counter that? Do you need to kneel someone? Do you need to remove an attachment? Do you need high gold to drop characters in? Do you need 2 claim to keep the momentum going? It looks like Tim needed heads on spikes to try to hit a big character out of Kyle's hand, which I think is a great play considering we haven't seen Stannis, Robert, or Melisandre being played. So there's a good chance they're hiding up in Kyle's hand, and Tim wants to go for them and grab them and pop them in the dead pile if he finds them and gain 2 power. And Kyle played Call on the Banners because it looks like he needs economy, which is a good sign he has something big in hand to play, because he's trying to gain gold off of Tim's characters in the field, which is 3. So which essentially turns Kyle's plot into a 6 gold plot. So looks like Kyle took his gold, and now Tim's rolling his dice to do his grab. 3rd card in, it looks like. And he got a fire followers. So Kyle dodged one there, sort of. I mean, it could have been better. He got something else that wasn't a character, but Tim grabbed 2 power. But that's not always a bad thing for Tim to get 2 power in his house. So when Kyle needs to steal some for power challenges, he can grab something. So it looks like Kyle's going first, and he collected his 3 gold off his plot, so he's at a total of 6. And he begins his marshal, so he plays his reducing location, which lets him reduce a Baratheon card by 1 for cost. Tim's already collected his gold, which is not proper, but he's probably just sitting it there to speed up things and help him visualize what gold he has and what's in his hand. Kind of speed up the game a little bit. But normally he would have not collected gold yet, because sometimes there are things that trigger off that. And also him having gold in front of him could let him play an event that he normally wouldn't be able to play. But yeah, he technically doesn't have that gold yet. So if he needed to cancel an event with a Hands of Judgment that cost money, he wouldn't be able to do it because he wouldn't really have that gold. So we got Sir Davos Seaworth in play. 4 cost 3 strength, military and power. He has stealth. And he has a great ability when he is killed, instead of going to your dead pile, he will return to your hand. So if he's discarded, you can get rid of him that way, or if you blank him, he loses that ability. And the other way is canceling that ability when it goes off using, I believe, I guess the Lannister event is one of the only ways to do it. Or if you were to choose him, I think for claim, if Catelyn Stark was in the challenge, she would stop character abilities from triggering. So if you chose him as claim, he would die. It looks like Tim's dropping a bomb on the table. He has Tywin Lannister out. Not looking good. Kyle Sir Davos definitely doesn't match up to Tywin, so looks like Tim's got the better board here. But that doesn't always mean, you know, that you've got Baratheon on lock. They can gain power over turns using that dominance of the Iron Throne there, and drawing cards with the Red Keep can really swing things later in the game. Looks like military 3 with Sir Davos, stealthing Tywin Lannister. Now Tim, does he use Jaime to defend and gain a power? Or does he save Jaime for his beautiful offense standing ability? And it looks like he's going for the defense. So defend with 7, I believe, due to Widow's Wail. Looks like he blocked, gain renown, full win on Tim's side. Looks like intrigue with the fiery followers. Trying to jump challenge here to get him to kneel out Tywin, which I guess wouldn't be that bad. It would stop the intrigue claim. Tim's checking out his hand to see what he has in there and if he can afford to lose any of it. And if he wants to be offensive with Tywin, he's going to need to have him standing. But Tywin does have renown, so if he does use them to block, Tim would gain a power and save cards in his hand from being discarded. And it looks like he chooses to do so. So it looks like Tim is up to 6 and Kyle is at 2 power. So that's not too bad second round, but we'll see what happens. Tim hasn't even gone yet in this round, so looks like Tim's attacking with 2 from the Burnman, and Kyle blocks for 6 with the Hunting Party. And it looks like the other side, we got a Shireen coming in with a 1 power, blocking with the Dragonstone Faithful. And I believe Kyle wins, actually, because he's got the +2. Yeah, so Kyle does block it, actually. He did have 3 on his side, so Dragonstone Faithful actually wins the power challenge there. And Kyle is not lost, so he's trying to draw at the end of the challenge phase with the Red Keep, which does go through. And it looks like Kyle is above his reserve of 7 due to the Iron Throne and drawing cards, so he will have to discard down. I'm not sure what he got rid of there. Can't really see it. Apologize for Kyle having his dead and discard pile off camera there. But I didn't want to interrupt these players. I just let them do their own thing for the finals. I don't really want to be too involved. getting them to keep their cards on their mats and that kind of thing. I just figured let them go with it and, you know, focus on the game. Pretend they aren't being filmed as best I could. Alright, so Tim drops a Game of Thrones. So both players have to win intrigue challenges before they can initiate military and or power. It's a 4-2-1, and Kyle drops a Feast for Crows, which is 6-1-1, and I believe it's the reaction. If he wins dominance, he collects 2 additional power. Seems good with the Iron Throne. And players draw 2 cards for the draw phase. Looks like Kyle's going first. Collect 6 gold. Looks like Tim's counting out his gold early again. But new players, this is not right. Tim should not be drawing gold as I stated before. So pretend he's not doing it. He's just putting it to the side there. Alright, so it looks like Kyle got a Rose Road in play. Spent 2 on the Chamber of the Painted Table. And Melisandre has hit the table. Looks like Tywin is taking a bow. Oh, no. So Tim, see, here's where he made a mistake. Collecting that gold, having it sitting in front of him, he did make a mistake there and think he had gold, but he was quickly corrected. He tried to cancel it with a 1-cost event, and it's treachery in Lannister, which does cost money. So he doesn't technically have gold yet, which we caught there on the sidelines, and Kyle basically slapped that event away. So Tywin will sit out. Unless Tim gets a seal of hand on him and stands him back up. And Tim retaliates with the Milk of the Poppy on his marshal. On Melisandre, so he shouldn't have to deal with that again unless Kyle removes Milk of the Poppy. It looks like Tim's burning a King's Road. And we have Tyrion. 5 cost, 4 strength, intrigue power, has stealth, and has a reaction. After an intrigue challenge is initiated by either player, he will gain you 2 gold. So we're in the 3rd round here, and it looks like Tim is at 6 power, and Kyle is at 3. Looks like we're in challenges. Intrigue of 6 by Kyle, which he has to do first due to a Game of Thrones plot being played by Tim. It looks like Tim got his 2 gold off Tyrion, which he's now sitting at 6 gold, which buffs Tywin's ability up, which makes Tywin a 12 strength right now, but he is kneeling, so that's too bad. But it does allow Tim to be able to ambush in whatever he wants and pretty much play any event he wants. And he could bounce a character for 6 cost with a Things I Do for Love event, if he wanted to. Just looks like there's a block with Jamie for 7. And Kyle cannot do any more challenges because he did not win an intrigue. But now Tim has won an intrigue, so he can technically do any challenge in any order he wants right now. And Tim deciding on what to do. He's grabbed Tyrion here, and he's thinking about putting him in a challenge. And it looks like a power of 4. He is going to stealth the Dragonstone Faithful. Kyle's debating defending with Sir Davos, who should be able to block it with the +2 on Kyle's side, but he chooses not to. He wants to save Sir Davos, I guess, for a military challenge? I'm not sure why he would do that with the King's Hunting Party in play, but or maybe he's really trying to win dominance from a Feast for Crows and he thinks that power's better to go that route. She's probably right, but I don't know. I would have stopped it so I can get the card draw, but maybe Kyle, since he's got card draw already, he may not want to draw any more cards because he's just discarding them for a reserve. It might be a waste. He might like what he has in hand. Yeah, he looks like he used Sir Davos to block the military here. I guess he wanted to keep the King's Hunting Party stand because he is 6 strength towards dominance, so. Yeah, but he does have Iron Throne, so I'm not sure there. But he does win dominance. He steals one with the Chamber of the Painted Table. And then triggers his plot after I saw a little hand pointed out, so maybe Kyle didn't remember his plot ability. Until he was just reminded, so I'm not sure why he did that there and why he didn't just block with Sir Davos. Maybe he forgot he had +2 strength on his side during power challenges, or maybe I missed something else that Tim had. But and into the 3rd round, looks like Tim is at 7 and Kyle is at 6, so not a bad round for Kyle, even though he couldn't really do any challenges from Game of Thrones kind of stuffing him there and limiting what he could initiate. But Chamber of the Painted Table, MVP. All right, 4th plots. Here we go. Calling the banners on Tim's side. So Tim's going to collect, looks like 5 gold from the amount of Kyle's characters on the board. And we have a confiscation on Kyle's side, which is a 4/5/1. When revealed, he can choose and discard an attachment from play. So it looks like he wants to free up Melisandre, or he's tired of Jaime's Widow's Wail buff. But I'm going to bet the Melisandre Milk of the Poppy needs to go away. And Kyle's holding on to some R'hllor cards, so he needs that kneel to kick in again to keep Tywin or Jaime down. Maybe even Tyrion with stealth, but he's got to do something against the family over there who are going to wreck his day if he doesn't control them. Yeah, it looks like he's reading Widow's Wail, debating on that over Melisandre, so maybe he doesn't have any R'hllor cards yet, or he's assuming he won't see any. Yep, he discards Widow's Wail, which may be a mistake. I'm not sure that was the best play there, but I don't know what's in his hand, and I don't know what's in his deck 100%, so maybe, he's discarded, maybe he discarded stuff for reserve, and knows he doesn't have many more R'hllor cards coming up. Just playing the odds, but Tim has a whopping 11 gold there, and he spends 1, reduces, and plays a moneylender who will earn him more gold next turn, and that's his limited play for the round. And looks like Tim's sitting on that 10 gold, and he's passing over to Kyle for marshalling. All right, Kyle's collecting his gold, and it looks like he's got 5 due to his Rose Road bonus there and his plot of 4. We'll see here. I'm not sure if he could have went first and had Robert Baratheon, that would have been great, but the fact he's going second and Tim's going first here with Tywin who's buffed. Melisandre's milked. He's got Tyrion out there to earn even more gold for you. And he's got stealth, so you can probably push through that intrigue challenge. Gain you more gold. Buff up Tywin to make it an unstoppable challenge. Get some renown. Jaime's got renown. Yeah, it's, I don't know. Tim's looking good right now, but Kyle is yet to marshal. So let's see what he does here. Okay, more economy. So he's sitting in a position where he could play Robert. He actually could have played him before playing that, I believe, with Fealty, his other reducing location, the 5 gold. He could have got Robert in already, but I'm sure he would have excitedly slapped him on the board by now if he had him, but I could be wrong. Here we go. Oh, and the reducing character he also had. So Kyle is sitting on some decent economy, but he's going to have to spend it all and put some characters in there to try to stop the Lannisters here. Oh, we got a Fealty Kneel. It is a loyal card. So 4 reductions so far. Spending 2. And we have Stannis. Not the Robert we were looking for. Oh, but he got Lightbringer. 2 for Lightbringer, not bad. Which is giving Stannis renown. And once per round when Stannis gains a power, he will stand him. Which is not bad. Looks like Kyle's sitting there with 4 cards. Looks like Tim also has 4 cards. So pretty even in the card department. Tim has lots of resources on the board. So maybe he has some ambush. I think I just saw things they do for love there. So, yeah. Options wide open for Tim with who he may want to bounce back to hand. And he could bounce Stannis back to hand, and Lightbringer would go along with it. And it looks like Tim is deciding what to do here. Looks his challenges, he's going first. Probably calculating out the strength, debating what to do with his money, what order he should do his challenges in. But if it were me, I'd start looking at the intrigue first, just to get the Tyrion buff. And you could do a sweeping military through, even with all what Kyle has there. He could probably win it with Jaime and Tywin. Tywin being at 16 strength right now. And you can get double renown for that and still use Jaime for an intrigue after the fact if you wanted. So Tim has options here. He could do it in whichever order he'd like. He also does get 2 intrigue challenges off of Casterly Rock. Really haven't seen that kicked off yet. But he's deciding to do a thing they do for love first. He's going to kneel his faction card. He does control a unique Lannister character. And Stannis is bouncing back the hand and bringing Lightbringer along with it.
If it's not terminal, that goes to him as well, I think, right? Yeah. The attachment is not terminal, it goes back to him.
So Tim saving 4 gold here. Field looks a little better on Kyle's side for Tim. Opens things up, but I'm sure he could have waited on that and done it after using Tywin. But I guess he feels a little more comfortable. So he's got Tyrion going off here, military stealthing, and he just gained 2 more gold from Tyrion's ability. Looks like Kyle chump blocks with 2. Stop the unopposed. And it looks like Tim's going for a card out of Kyle's hand for claim. And he's going for card number 5 according to his Netrunner dice roll. And he grabbed Lightbringer. He didn't get the Stannis he was looking for. But Stannis without Lightbringer is a lot less scary than Stannis with Lightbringer, that's for sure. And that gets rid of a copy of Lightbringer, who could work off Melisandre if she wasn't milked, and can help Robert Baratheon become a super monster too. So always good to see Lightbringer hit the discard pile, that's for sure. So yeah, this is our final game here. Obviously, the finals of the Iron Price Invitational. You know, make sure you guys subscribe. Look forward to future videos. We're not going to stop with Game of Thrones 2nd Edition here. Game just released to the public, like I said. So, you know, we're going to get going. I'll try to do some deck building videos, more live streams, at least once a week. I'll try to keep those up. I went to a release event at 401 Games in Toronto. Filmed a couple casual games there. I'll try to get those up. And yeah, lots more Game of Thrones content coming. So make sure you guys subscribe below to get notified to have that stuff come up in your feed. And that would support the channel and, you know, help me get more views. And I can use that ad revenue and upgrade my equipment, try to make some better videos. Maybe buy an extra camera so the next tournaments I go to that aren't in my living room, I can actually bring some cameras along and try to get more games recorded at better quality. I really like the GoPro here, how the quality is great, much better than the webcams we use for live streams, so that would help me out. So yeah, make sure you tell your friends who like the game or anyone getting into it, get them over to this channel, help get the views there, so the subscriptions, and yeah, just make this community bigger and make these videos better and spread the word of this game that we all love. Looks like Tim went in with a military challenge there. Tyrion and Burnmen. Or sorry, Jaime and the Burnmen. Oh, 7. Looked like Kyle blocked that with a 9 from Sir Davos. And the hunting party. So, which stopped Jamie there from grabbing his renown. And it looks like power challenge of 1. And that will go unopposed. Now Tim still does have a second entry challenge, which he is going to do with Jamie. And collecting 2 gold off of Tyrion. Only twice per round, so he's maxed out Tyrion's ability there. So he's got back up to 8 gold, so spending all that money on the things they do for love didn't really hurt Tywin's ability too much. He's got another 8 strength, so Tywin's sitting at 14 right now, strength. Oh, he grabs Stannis with the second pull. So Lightbringer and Stannis, which he bounced back the beginning of the turn for things they do for love, and he gets them out. That's the perfect storm for Tim. Just what you want to see. Power of 4 from Kyle with Melisandre. Looks like Tim is sitting at 4 on his house, 3 from Jamie, and 1 on Tywin. So it looks like, oh, he grabs another renown. So it looks like we are at, I believe, 9 power on Kyle's side. And oh, forgot about the moneylender there. So looks like Tim does win dominance. And that does put Tim up to 10 power, I believe. But we'll see when he stands up his house card here if there's any power off the screen there we don't see. And it looks like Kyle is sitting at 5 power. And we're choosing plots here. Yep, he knew Wildfire was coming on Kyle's side. He definitely have to slim that board down a bit, but still going to leave Tywin, Jamie, and Tyrion most likely on the board. And Tim plays Sneak Attack, 5-11-2, limited to initiating only 1 challenge. And Kyle's Wildfire will slim the board down to 3 on both players' sides at least. They can choose to kill more, but they can save up to 3. And the rest are killed and cannot be saved. And it looks like Shireen's killed and using her ability to kneel Sir Davos. And since he's first player, he's doing his actions first. Alright, so yeah, I was right on that one. Tyrion, Tywin, and Jamie are left on Tim's side. So he actually is up to, he's got 7 power on his house and 5 on his characters. So Tim is actually sitting at 12. The claim 2 plot, he possibly could go for it here. Maybe with the power challenge, claim 2 unopposed. That will net him 3 power. And if he could get through dominance, but I don't think that's going to happen with Kyle's Iron Throne. But we will see what happens here through the challenge phase. With the amount of gold he's collecting and Jamie not kneeling, Tim could still... Tim only doing 1 challenge, I guess, couldn't even make Jamie participate in it. But we'll see what else he plays here when he's marshalling. Looks like Kyle's left for the Melisandre with the milk. Hunting party and a Knelt Sir Davos. Not looking good for him on his side. And it looks like Tim is holding all of his gold. He's not even going to play any characters, any cards, no locations, no attachments. And we're over to Kyle's Marshal where he's collected 5 gold. Reduced by 2. Fealty. And it looks like 7 gold total. We know who that is. Robert Baratheon is in play. Duplicated. So he's not going away. And a Dragonstone Faithful. Alright. Over to Tim. Challenges.
do a power challenge.
Oh, and the renown on Tywin, I did not take that into account. Power challenge, stealth with Tyrion. Big Bobby B is out of the challenge. Chump block with the Dragonstone Faithful.
So take 2 and renown for Tywin should put me right at 15. So I just claim 2, 2, 4, 6, 8.
Looks like Tim took it. Congratulations, Tim. 2015 Iron Price champion. Gave him one of my playmats that I have a few of. And yeah, welcome to Game of Thrones, Tim. Comes on, new player, newest player out of all of us. And he takes the tournament down with his Lannisters. And beats Baratheon Fealty in the finals. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Make sure you subscribe, like the videos, come around for our live streams. Thanks for sticking through us through the tournament. Goodbye.